Welcome to The Alternative Voice. This week, we have Chastity Boyd of Moon Vibez. And now your host, Valerie Martens.
Hi, I'm Valerie Martens, your host of The Alternative Voice. Today, I have with me Chastity Boyd, and she is the owner of Moon Vibez. I'd like to give a shout out to friends and family and followers for all the wonderful birthday wishes I got for my birthday. I really appreciate all the likes, the follows, the shares, the comments. You guys are really helping me to grow my podcast and to become more successful. So thank you guys. I love you all. Hi, how are you?
I am doing very wonderful today. Thank you.
Awesome.
How are you?
Well, you know what? I'm doing pretty good.
Good.
So you have Moon Vibez.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about Moon Vibez.
Moon Vibez. So what we are is, or what we do is sell crystal, chakra, orgone-based jewelry, tools, and accessories for your greatest and highest good.
Oh, nice.
When I first began, it was back in 2020 during the pandemic, of course.
Right.
We started off with bath ritual kits.
Yes.
It had the bath salts with a few crystals,
nice.
flowers, candles. But then over the year, I transgressed and went on to just selling basically just crystals,
Right.
but in different tools. And as that started to take off, I started noticing people really asking questions. Well, what do I do with this? How do I use that?
Right. And, you know, I think people know enough now that we all know there's, you know, certain crystals are for certain things and you know, you can use them spiritually, you can use them health-wise.
Yes, holistically as well,
and
too.
so, but it is confusing because, you know, when I started, I'm not even going to say how many years ago, we had the basics.
Yeah.
You know, we had hematite, we had the rose quartz, we had clear quartz, we had amethyst, we had rhodochrosite, we had chrysocolla, some hematite. You know, there was just a handful, really.
Yes, and as time has progressed on, they keep finding more and more in different types of crystals.
Yes.
One of my favorites, for example, is called Super 7, and it has 7 different crystals fused into one. That's like amethyst, citrine, smoky quartz.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those are like all my favorites.
Yes.
Do they do that as a chakra crystal?
There are, I have found some pieces out there that, like, for example, like if you do it in an orgone form, and what's orgone or orgonite, what that is, it's you're setting crystal chips in resin with copper infused, because the copper is going to be used as your conductor.
Okay.
So that's one way of forming like a chakra type stone or piece, is doing it with the orgone or orgonite. But I have seen stones out there where they press and form like the layers together.
Right.
Yes.
Well, I know a friend of mine ordered me a chakra crystal, and we got them. And I'm looking at it, and I'm thinking, oh, this is very pretty because it, you know, started at the bottom and went to the top. And I realized it was plastic.
Oh, no.
And I was like, oh, no. And I didn't have the heart to tell her.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't
Yeah.
real. And I know, so there's some of that out there. So it's probably really a good idea to come to somebody like you.
Yeah. So for example, when you said plastic, that reminded me back to the malachite, like we were talking the other day.
Yeah.
So malachite can actually will be passed off as a real stone, but it's plastic, or it's just formed and it's not real. There's certain stones like malachite that I won't mess with or choose just because of that reason.
What is the white stone? I knew the name just a minute
Selenite?
ago. No, it's a white stone, and they pass it off as turquoise. They'll dye it blue.
Oh, howlite.
Howlite, that's it.
So
they'll pass it off as turquoise.
Yeah, and that's another one, like turquoise, I won't mess with per se or try to buy unless I know I'm buying it off of, like if I go to somebody that can authenticate it, you know.
Right, because they're easily faked, or I've noticed that they're dyeing them.
Yes.
To make them more blue. They're I've seen them.
Or adding more color.
Yeah, and I've also seen them where they've, it's like they've put a coating on them. Mm-hmm. So it's like.
So I stick to what I know. A lot of the times I'll stick to, like you said, the amethyst, the clear quartz, the rose quartz. Those are all still great stones, even though they've been around millions of years too. But like I said, and every day, you know, they're always finding like a new mineral, a new stone. I know another one off the top of my head is ametrine. That's amethyst and citrine. They grow together.
I love ametrine.
Yes.
Anything with citrine. Citrine is like my stone.
Yes.
You know, I love citrine. And so you have stuff where you can teach people about what each one of the crystals are or do.
Yes. So, for example, my Crystal Journal 101, this is like your starter, like knowing like how to take care of your crystals.
Right.
What can be cleansed with what. There's other properties in here. So, for example, you can cleanse your crystals, charge your crystals. You can use things like salt, water, smudging.
Right.
And then also I do have like talking about the colors and the chakras that they coincide with.
Right.
And then you can even journal in here, like under each crystal that you find.
So like as you use it, you can kind of journal some of your results?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And
that's
then,
amazing.
Also, another thing I wanted to hit point on this, in the Crystal Journal 101, it literally talks about everything, like from your altar.
Right.
If you wanted to set up an altar, it does talk about like wands,
right.
Because crystals come in different forms. Like you could use it as a wand form, like during any healing work, Reiki work.
Right.
They come in pyramids. They come in shapes. They come in hearts. They come in rough.
Exactly.
They come in polished.
They have polished. They have rough. They have chips.
Mm-hmm.
They have solids. They have
everything.
You know, yeah. As I know, when I set up and do my work. You know, I need a point, you know, so that I can attach that to the end of my wand to use it to charge whatever it is.
Yeah, or direct energy.
Yeah, for the direct energy.
Yeah.
The other journal.
Yes.
Is the chakra, right?
Yes. So Crystals and Chakras Journal Volume 2. That one is coinciding your crystals with your chakras. This is kind of a bigger book, and this took me actually a year. I took my time on this.
Wow, cool.
That one, the first one I did was probably like 6 to 8 months, but this one I really wanted to take my time on it.
Yeah.
Just to really get more informative, not just crystals in here, but I also talk about what's a vibration, and I also include like the sounds, the affirmations that you can use along with creating your own, and really just having like the person that is reading this or trying to get to know themselves and kind of you know,
raise the vibration, raise their frequency, which, you know, that's just goes hand in hand with, you know, you take care of your physical health. And you take care of your physical life and your spiritual life. But, you know, you have to take care of your inside and your energy life as well.
So I just got certified for Reiki too. So I am a Reiki practitioner now. And that was one of the major things that, you know, is taught to us is about, you know, people's energies and the dis-ease.
Right. Let's back up just a hair.
Sure.
Tell me and the listeners, what is Reiki?
Okay, so Reiki is pretty much the form of spiritual healing.
Okay.
Me, myself, and others that I know that do Reiki, it's not all, I mean, like we probably all don't do it the same. You won't.
Right.
You won't see it be done the same way.
Right.
We go with our intuition and with our angels and our guides just to help us guide you along with the healing. What I mainly focus on is chakra balancing and chakra opening. Like if you're closed in a certain area, then I want to open that back up.
Open that back up.
Yes.
And I know that the chakras, my study this year has been frequency.
Okay.
as we, start raising our vibration, each cell, right on down to each cell in our body, has its own frequency.
Yes.
And the lower your frequency is, the more dis-ease
Yes.
that you have, the more disharmony that you have, and that flows outward into your life. So when you're low vibration, you begin to attract all these low vibration things into your life, and that's a mess.
When I say about 5 years ago, I started my spiritual journey. And, I started learning about crystals and started learning about, like, okay, it's okay for me to branch outside of what I was taught and do what was great, that felt good for me and for my heart. But in the beginning, even though, like, I was changing and doing all these things, I was still attracting low vibrational people and things that weren't meant for me, because I was so, still kind of caught up in the, the old habits.
The old life.
Yes.
The old lifestyle. That's the hard part, is
letting go
of the things that no longer serve us.
Yes.
And so I know that blocked chakras, or chakras that need to be opened, can actually affect our vibration, which in turn affects our frequency, and we can begin to have it can actually attract problems, or attract the wrong type of people, places, or things into your life,
or you just not feeling good, feeling tired, feeling
tired, draggy,
sluggish, and granted, like, every day isn't going to be perfect for anybody.
Absolutely.
But this is just a way
to improve
and to cope as well too, especially the journaling. I didn't think in a million years I'd be sitting up journaling.
Right.
And then, like, it happens, and I'm like, okay, like, we're just going to do this.
Here we go.
And it's part of shadow work as well too.
Yeah.
Really getting to know yourself.
Really important.
Yeah.
For raising your vibration is going inside and taking a look with your shadow work. And I think people have a misconception that it's like your evil twin.
Yeah.
And it's really not. It's just those things in your life that, maybe you need to change, or
because we all have it.
Yeah, or past traumas that need to be dealt with. I mean, there's so many things that fall into that category, and it's a lifetime.
Yeah.
It doesn't just, you don't wake up and go, oh, well, I think today I'll do my shadow work.
Right.
And 6 months, you're like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm happy now. So let's just, no.
Yeah, no, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, believe it or not, I'm currently going through some more shadow work that I thought I was done with, and just...
Yeah, it's kind of funny how that pops back up, doesn't it?
And I'm just like, well, here we are. I guess I got to face it and keep facing it. And,
right.
And just keep improving.
Right. Well, and I can see that those journals would be so beneficial for that,
And they're so easy
to... What do I need to do? And of course, then that plays in, and they can add in the Reiki Healing. So what started you on crystals?
I mean, like, ever since I was a little girl, I was, always attracted to crystals.
Right.
Funny story. So when I was probably in pre-K, kindergarten, I would have my grandpa, because my grandparents did help raise me along with my mom. She was a single mom for a long time, and especially, like, in my earlier years.
Yeah.
So she worked at Boeing third shift, so that means I was with them a lot.
Yeah.
And when I was a little girl, pre-K, kindergarten age, my grandpa would take me to, like, the dollar store that was in the mall in Town West.
Oh yeah,
and I would buy those mood
rings.
Yes, the mood rings.
I love those things. I want to know how they work.
So I bought those, and then I would have my little Lisa Frank sticker collection. Just those nice, like, fun things.
Right.
And take them to school and sell them to my friends for 25 cents because I thought
you were an entrepreneur from the get-go, huh?
Yes, yeah.
Right on.
And I've just always loved it growing up. But of course, like being raised Catholic in a Black community, that was always like, oh, don't do
there.
Yeah.
A lot of stigmata there.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I started Catholic and then
transgressed.
Yeah.
I would call myself more eclectic.
That's a good term for it because I never really know what to say.
I just had to find out I'm just an eclectic person. I take a little bit of beliefs from all over the world and apply them to myself because none of it's wrong. It all comes from somewhere.
Exactly. And basically it all has the same message.
Yes. Do unto others as you'd
I've
like
always
to
told
be done
people,
to you.
oh, I'm spiritual, because I am spiritual, but I can't
say
there's no finger to put on it.
Yeah.
And
it's not just one thing.
I've always loved stones.
Yes.
So you obviously have pieces that are pre-made. Do you also do custom pieces?
Yes. So on the custom pieces that I do, it's for the hair combs, the bracelets. I can do some of the crystal beaded rings and earrings.
Okay.
I will say my most favorite thing to make is the hair combs and the hair pieces and the bracelets.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. Those are like my main things to make is the hair stuff, the hair
cool.
jewelry and then the bracelets.
And that's different, too.
Yeah, because you don't see a lot of crystal hair jewelry, but...
No, you don't.
I have made those hair combs with the crystal, points and stuff, and those are really popular.
Nice.
I mean, a lot of people like them. They give that mermaid vibe, that witchy vibe, the fairy vibe. Any kind of vibe that you want to include it in, you can.
Right. That is so very cool.
Yes.
And do you sell... I'm one of those people that I... wear my crystal jewelry, but I also just like stones.
Yes.
I have stones everywhere.
So I did start getting a little bit of a collection of your more shaped form stones or in shapes or little characters. I am kind of condensing some of that stuff down.
Are you?
Yes, but I still do have some of it. By 2024, I plan to take a different direction, sort of.
Ooh.
I'm still going to be educating and teaching and doing Reiki. But I do want to, I'm always just improving, finding ways that we can change and do different. Because some of that smaller stuff that I have doesn't move as quickly as I'd like for it to see. So sometimes we just have to... figure out what works.
Right, exactly. Well, if we don't grow and change, we stagnate.
Oh, yeah.
And I definitely, that's no.
Well, we talked about the other day, me being the Taurus, you being the Scorpio.
Right.
We get comfortable.
Oh, yeah, we get real comfortable, and then we're
stuck.
Stubborn. Stuck and stubborn.
Stubborn, yeah. That's
a good one. Stuck and stubborn.
Yeah.
That's me all the time. Because, Scorpios are only a baby likes change.
Yeah.
I'm good. This works. I'll just stay in this lane on cruise control.
Yeah.
And then the semi in front of me slams on its brakes.
See, that's what happened.
Change.
That's what happened to me last December when my life got flipped all upside down.
Yep.
And that's why I came out with that sticker. The Big Girl Panties Activate.
Big Girls Panties Activate.
Yes.
It seems like it's... adulting's hard.
Yeah. And it gets harder.
It does.
There's no manual.
No.
Our parents were always right.
Yeah, I know.
And now we're having to break the generational curse. That some of these things.
The old things from the past. And the world is changing so fast.
Oh, yeah.
And there's so many. When I started with stones, we had a place that was called the Free University. And I taught their crystal class.
Okay.
And my teaching book that I gave out with the class was about 75 pages.
Okay.
That had all the crystals that everybody was using and what they meant, both, what you could use them physically, what you could use them spiritually. And that was it. And I think I was coined as a kook. And I was like, not crazy. Well, okay, I'm crazy, but
not, at the hospital
so this
crazy.
is much more widely accepted today.
Yeah, the new age is really.
The new age.
I mean, it's blown up. I think I had a conversation with a friend not too long ago about how back in 2020 and back in 2019 as well too, how we were all just awakening.
Yeah.
We all there's a big group of
there
us.
There was a huge group of people. I mean, you
spoke up.
Never heard of it. And then all of a sudden we're starting to hear about people being awakened.
Yeah.
And I know that corresponded with our shift into the age of Aquarius. We are there.
Yeah.
And that is the time of enlightenment to find out those things that are hidden. Yeah. And I'm so glad that all of this is so much more acceptable and accessible.
Yes, accessible. That's what I wanted to become, was more accessible. Because I don't want people to just think, oh, well, she just sells crystals. Well, no. I'm going to give you knowledge.
It's not just a jewelry thing.
Yeah.
It's not just
It's more than that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know, we only used to have one or two businesses
now
that did stuff. And there's several now.
Yeah.
And it's great to see all of this grow and explode. And I'm so excited.
And a lot of people waking up.
Yeah. I noticed that this year, was it this year? Have they had the fair?
The Holistics Fair?
The Holistic Fair, yeah.
Yes, we actually had one the weekend of Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
So it's usually pretty quarterly, but I know next year we had it condensed down to 3 shows. So there's going to be another one in January, one in April. No, I'm sorry. January, July, and October.
Oh, okay.
They omitted the April one. But I know at least next year there's going to be at least 3 shows.
And that's really grown, hasn't it?
Yes. And, I know I won't be there in January for sure, but I will be back again. That's just one of my safe places to do.
I noticed you did a lot
of
events and pop-up markets last year. So you don't have just like the storefront. No. You do the pop-ups and the events. And
yes.
How was that for you?
It's great. I do love it. Don't get me wrong. But, you always have your challenges, your struggles, of course, of being a vendor. I will say, though, I do consignment, though, over at Sunflower Cafe.
Okay.
Out west.
So that's Sunflower Cafe out west?
Out off of Central.
Okay.
And off of when you get off on the 235 Central, you just...
Oh, okay.
It's right there.
Right. So 235 in Central.
Yes.
Okay.
And then the second location where I consignment at is at the Babe Cave. That's us out west, too. It's a friend of mine. She has a spa, and so she has some of my jewelry there for sale as well, too.
And where's she located?
Oh, gosh. You would ask me, and I don't remember.
Of course. Oh,
but
no.
it's on my website. And
it's all on your website.
And we tag each other as well, too. Follow the tags. Again, I can give you that information. You could post it along.
I noticed that you posted... you do post a lot of information on your Facebook page.
I try.
It's hard. The social media thing, I think all of us are, because it's become such a big part
of the business
that. But the thing is where do you find the time to do business? And then, all the time on the social media promoting the business and putting out information and all of that, it can be difficult.
It can be, especially when you have, you have your regular 9 to 5 and you have other things.
Life, yeah. When you have a life.
Yeah.
So now, do you teach classes?
I have in the past, being at the ICT gay market. I've taught a crystal grid class.
Okay.
I've done a few of those, and then I've also done some other classes. For example, me and one of my other friends from Pretty Ways LLC, she does waist beads. We've teamed up and done some events together as well too.
Nice. And so for the healing. The Reiki Healing.
Mhm.
Is that like, do I call you up like the doctor? Hey, Chastity.
Yeah, you can.
I need to come in. Do you have a...
Yeah, absolutely. You can always contact me through, through my email that's on on the card and on the website, or
Okay.
through text, or through Messenger on either Facebook or Instagram. Those are really the two platforms that I use.
Those are I
I'm
use
just-
the same too. I can't.
Anything
trying
beyond-
to go into anything else beyond that is like way too much.
It's overwhelming.
Because at least the Instagram and the Facebook, you can kind of, hit that little slider button and they work together.
Yeah.
So if you post it on Instagram, it automatically goes to
Yes,
Facebook. And
yes.
I'm like, ooh, that's a time saver right there.
Right, and that's helpful in itself, but sometimes I do get lost in the algorithm, and this algorithm doesn't make any sense, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, I think that's another one of those things that we all kind of fly by the seat of our pants, and you never know what's going to take off,
Yeah.
So give me all your information, your Facebook, your web page.
Okay.
Let's run your email again.
Sure.
So that people know how to contact you.
So Facebook and Instagram will be Moon Vibez, and that's MoonVibez.
Vibez.
LLC.
LLC. Okay.
On both the Facebook and the Instagram.
Okay.
On the email, it's email? Yes.
Email? Yeah.
Email. It's,
That's the Gmail.
yeah, email. So www.moonvibes2020@gmail.com.
Okay. Okay.
And then the
And
website is
Isn't it just like the same link as far as the www.moonvibes?
yeah. Well, I guess the email would be just moonvibes2020@gmail.com.
Okay.
My
And then
apologies. I was getting the two mixed
is
up.
the webpage just the link to your webpage? Is it got the 2020?
It should have it on there.
So if we just type in Moon Vibes 2020.
That's to get me through my email, yes, at gmail.com.
At Gmail.
But the website is the www.moonvibesllc.com.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Well, thank you for coming on today's show and visiting with me about all this.
Yes. Well, thank you for having me.
You're absolutely welcome. I want people to become the best version of themselves, so that we can be the change that we want to see out there in today's world.
Yeah, for the next generation.
So it's amazing that you're doing these things, because that's what helps us become the better versions of us. So it was great to have you on, and we'll keep communication open as things change for you, and you start, the new path.
The new paths, the new rivers.
I'll be excited to hear about what you're doing.
Yes.
And I will always let people know when you have an event. So thanks for coming on the show, and we'll talk again maybe later on in the year.
Yes, absolutely. I look forward to 2024 with you.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right. Thank you all for listening to The Alternative Voice. Be the change you want to see in the world.